Today we're going to run through a winning strategy for generating more virtual office revenue with an optimal return on your investment. But before we start, allow me to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Andrea Pirrotti. I've been marketing for 20 years. I have my undergrad and MBA in marketing. I started off my career at Time Warner Music Group and then moved on to Ernst & Young. And in 1999, I found myself at a little-known company called Regis Business Centers. I was a member of the leadership team that grew that company from $200 million to $1 billion in revenue. I was the head of marketing for the Americas, and I fueled leads to open up one location a week. And ultimately, I became the global vice president of marketing, solely in charge of 750 locations across 65 countries. So I have a great deal of history in this industry and a lot of passion for it, and I'm very excited for where we're going. Today, we have 3 goals: to establish the opportunity that's before us, describe what that opportunity means to you, and then to provide you with action steps to take advantage of that opportunity to generate more revenue. So if you were sitting here before me, I'd ask you what that number is. Well, 53% actually represents the percentage of small businesses that are based out of a home. This is a significant number. And in fact, every 11 seconds, a new home-based business is birthed. And these are viable companies. In fact, 35% are generating 6 figures, $100,000 or more. And 8% are generating $500,000 or more. So these are no longer your dodgy home-based businesses that are using the mail service to hide up a covert operation or a dodgy operation. What's most interesting is that today, 40% of the workforce, or 65 million Americans, are freelancers, solopreneurs, and consultants. These are ripe for the virtual office product as well as your office product. When I started out in this industry, only 1% of white-collar knowledge workers could make an office decision. That number now is blown out of the water. It's turned out to be 40% who can reach into their pockets and buy your product. Then we have the mobile workforce. 1.5 billion mobile workers are projected globally this year, according to IDC. People are on the road. You see it yourself in your own way that you do business and the way that your clients are doing business. And contrary to assumptions, globalization is on the rise. People thought that with a down and turbulent market, that globalization would stall. But in fact, as home territories are drying up, people are going to secondary and tertiary markets to shop their wares. And that is a perfect opportunity for virtual offices. And the interesting thing is, though, is that through globalization, through technology, through the breakdown of the changing of social norms, enabling people to work from home and from a coffee shop, through the breakdown of red tape and government rules and regulations, globalization is increasing. But what's happening is that as a result, traditional office space is sitting empty. In fact, 65% of office space is projected to be sitting empty. Now, many studies have been done, whether it's 50% reported in Business Week or 60% reported in another article or 65%. It doesn't matter. The number is absolutely significant. It's $1 trillion in wasted money that corporates are spending that's literally going out the window. And if you average $13,000 per year to house an individual worker, again, you can back into this math. Gartner Group says that 60% of the workforce is conducted outside of the headquarters, and yet fewer than 30% of the Global 2000 have the maturity to support a telework practice and infrastructure. So the corporates are in trouble and they need a solution. When I was at Regis, we used to send messages in the Wall Street Journal to corporate real estate executives saying, hey, put 20% of your space in flex space. This is a very important message that needs to be underscored. I don't know if it's 20%, 10%, or 2%, but there's a tremendous opportunity here. So the shift is clear. Your audience for virtual office is growing. 40% of the marketplace is now at your desktop, and you have a greater opportunity to provide solutions through corporate, mobile, and distributed workforces. At the same token, you must evolve your product and your pricing and your tools. And if you don't, you will miss out on this opportunity. And that's what we're going to discuss right now. So the product. I'm a big proponent in what I call deconstructing virtual office, breaking apart the components of mail, voice, and workspace. And you'll see what happens in the next few slides. But take into consideration the trends. We saw that 50%, 53% of small businesses are out of the home. We also saw that there's a mobile and distributed workforce. We also saw that corporates are really experienced or challenged because their office space is sitting empty. So it's very clear that the same person who's going to buy the mail product is not the same person who's going to buy the voice product and not the same person who's going to buy the workspace product. Let's take a look at it. And let's create a program that your prospective customer can build himself. So let's look at the mail product. The number one reason why virtual clients choose a mail product is to separate home from business and have a professional presence. I've surveyed a lot of virtual office clients, and this is what they tell us. In addition, they also use mail products to be closer to home and to tap into new markets. Telephone services. Telephone services are used to separate home and business, no question, for people who want a professional first impression and also to have a local market presence. Workspace on demand is going to be used by the mobile worker who may or may not be a home-based office, have a home-based office, by the way. It could be an individual or somebody from a small or large firm. And then you have the membership program. I launched the Regis Global Membership Program, and this is wonderful for people who are on the road and need access to work from a professional environment that's built to enhance performance when they're outside of their main office. But they don't necessarily need the bundled hours. They just need an office here or there. So mail handling. So we've addressed now why somebody would use each of the products, and now we'll look at what should be included in the products. There's a tremendous opportunity to enhance the services that are being offered under each of these silos. So for example, mail handling. Of course it's a professional business address. Please layer in that mail is being collected from a trusted source. This is huge. They're giving up their potential invoices to you. They're giving up checks that they're receiving in the mail. They're giving up personal mail. They're giving up their address to you. Make sure that they understand and that you underscore that you're a trusted source to do this. Talk about the longevity of your team. Talk about your client satisfaction rating. Great opportunity here. Encourage them to use your office as a meeting point when they pick up the mail. You want to get them to engage. You want to get them sticky. You want to get them involved in your workspace. Allow them to use the photo of your building for marketing materials. This will absolutely make them more sticky. If they use your address and your photo, it's very hard to change that out. And of course, you offer mail forwarding. That's a standard. The exciting thing about the telephone services is that if you have VoIP, then you can absolutely bundle up certain aspects of the voice product to enhance that package and to drive upsell opportunities. One Systems happens to have an amazing VoIP product that you can use to adapt to your various packages. So, real-time DID anywhere, real-time. So if they need a phone number, in another city, in another country, you can provide that DID. Professional receptionist answering calls and screening the calls. Absolutely. Notice I did not say live receptionist. We know she's alive. I say professional or dedicated receptionist. Call forwarding, a no-brainer. Find me, follow me, a tremendous tool used by, that's enabled through VoIP. Voicemail to email. How fantastic would it be if you could offer voicemail to email as a standard? The person will never miss a call and can review their messages discreetly at any time. A branded app. One has an app that you can brand with your own logo, your own colors, and this branded app is wonderful. It appears right on their mobile phone, and they can use it wherever they are in the world to appear as though they're making a local call. Why not offer eFax? Workspace on demand, and I'm going to get into pricing later, but I have dissected these products and taken this approach for many of my clients, and the fear was, oh, Andrea, we're going to lose out on pricing. We're going to reduce our average deal value, and the fact is you don't, because you layer in the workspace on demand and it skyrockets your average deal value because people want this space. So only offer 2 packages, bundle up the spaces that are close together. So if you have a day office and a small meeting room, bundle those up, take an average, and then if you have a medium and boardroom, bundle those up. And I'll get into pricing in a second. And then layer in a membership card. Cloud Touchdown has a fantastic membership card that you can provide to your clients that gives them access to work from 400 cities around the world. And the fantastic thing about this is there's no risk, and it now gives you a fantastic tool to handle any objections that you have with regards to, oh, you don't have a global network, because you do. So we understand why people are using the products, we've packaged the products, and now we're going to go into pricing. And this is a game changer. Keep in your mind that when you price, you want to price to convert and gobble up market share. VO is now a volume play. Take utilization into account when you bundle up your office space and meeting space. You want to take everything that you can to drive additional revenue. So the point here is that when you price out your mail program, there's Laurent from Cloud VO has done a tremendous amount of research with this. This was supported by Morten Sen from DaVinci as well. There's tremendous price elasticity with mail, the mail product. A 20% drop in price can yield a 50% increase in revenue. Obviously, there becomes a point of diminishing returns, but the fact is that you have to make sure that you price your mail aggressively, okay? You want to use mail to gobble up market share, because the fact is if you lose that guy, you're not going to get their day office, you're not going to get the meeting rooms, you're not going to get the services, you're not going to get anything. You've lost him, and he's going to grow up through the product line of your competitor. So gobble up market share with mail. And then once you get them in, you email them every single month and you generate more revenue from them. Telephone services. Break out the features on your VoIP services and bundle services. Promote only the relevant must-have features. We have a list of those. And make sure, again, that you price that aggressively, but leaving yourself with upsell opportunities. Workspace on demand. Cloud VO shows that 50% of people who take the 16 hours on top of mail and telephone use 58% of them use 0 hours. And of the people who use the hours, 42% only use some hours, 2.5 hours in fact. So when you're bundling your workspace product, please keep that in mind. DaVinci has stats that says some 65% of meeting rooms sit empty. Take utilization into account. Get those bundled space packages out there. Start driving utilization in your meeting rooms. You can always raise your price. Okay? And then make sure that you sign up for a membership program. You'll be able to tap not only into individuals, but it'll give you an opportunity to tap into corporates like you haven't been able to before. So go ahead and do a competitive analysis, determine where your pricing is versus your competitors, and then price accordingly. You don't have to be the lowest price point offering in the marketplace, but make sure you price competitively. Okay, so now we have the package, we have the pricing, and now we're going to talk about lead generation. Time after time, the basics work. They work. Don't pass go until you've done the basics. Every single time I hear somebody tell me that they don't have enough leads, I ask them if they've done the basics. More times than not, they haven't, and they're trying to innovate something because the basics are boring. But do the basics. You must work with your channel partners. You know, the channel partners have come a long way. DaVinci has paid out $5 million, which really most of that just goes straight to the bottom line. They've paid out $5 million to their business center partners. And DaVinci and Cloud VO are opening up the corporate market so that you've never seen before. We're going to go through it. We're going to show you how to generate more revenue. Leads that generate more revenue. So this is a tool that I create. You can kind of get a sneak peek from the top as to what it looks like. If you had attended the webinar, you would have seen the tool, but since this is a recording and we're passing this on, I need to hide the tool really, but I'll describe it to you. I always divide my marketing plans between the target audience. In this case, the target audience is referral sources, prospective clients, both current and previous, okay? And then I break it out by communication channel, whether it's email or web or PPC or SEO, and then I break it out by month. So your referral sources, you have to, web brokers are getting leads, so you need to contact them. You need to let them know that you'll convert those leads and give them a discount, give them their payment. You have to contact your channel partners. Cloud VO, DaVinci, Liquid Space, United Virtual, then take care of that. You have to foster local relationships in the market with local groups. That's very important. Then you go online and you target your prospective clients. 87% of all searches begin online. You have to do SEO, you have to do PPC, you have to do Craigslist, you have to make sure you're on every relevant directory for VO in your local marketplace, okay? Then there are a number of other must-haves for targeting your prospective client. Then you have to speak to your clients. By the very nature that you're driving them in low and you're driving volume, the goal is then to get bits of incremental revenue per each person. Because if you have a few hundred clients, then $10, $20, $30, $40 per person in addition to per month, in addition to what you sold them initially, will add up to something. And so you want to make sure you email them every single month. You want to make sure you layer in a client satisfaction question in there too, which I'll talk about later, because that not only assesses satisfaction, but it gives you a tremendous opportunity to get information for your marketing materials, understand motivation as to why they chose you, I mean, all sorts of reasons. I always believe once a client, always a client, never let them go. And so you must make sure that you continue to contact clients who have left you, and whether it's for referral programs or a We Want You Back campaign. Okay? Okay, so now you have the product, you have the pricing, you're generating leads, and now we have to convert them. VO is very transactional in nature. Your leads will convert very well. Anywhere between 30 and 50% of your leads should convert, 40 on average. So go ahead and make sure that you use tools that will drive that transaction. One has an online e-commerce platform that is essentially, you can set up an e-commerce platform overnight for a mere $99 per month. It's a tremendous system that was built specifically for this category. You can sell your own virtual office products, and you can also sell your own services if you're doing any other services that you'd like to transact online. This is what it looks like, and the beautiful thing about this is that you can actually have them buy the mail, the voice, and or the workspace program and or the membership program right there online. They can choose one package or all four. They check out and then they get automatically billed every single month. It's genius. Then there's the proposal template. The proposal template is built to drive conversion. It's so important. Many of the proposal templates that I've seen says essentially, here's your package, here's how much it costs, and here's how many months it is. Your proposal template needs to have your logo, your location photo, because of course people are buying location. You need to include in it a unique positioning statement so that people will remember, not so much that they need to buy VO, they talk to you, they know the VO features. Most people are offering the same thing, but why they need to buy VO from you. So the whole first part of this proposal here drives home the key points of differentiation and all the stuff that comes along with it. Then I always list all the product offerings underneath in the proposal so that in the event that they just decide to choose one or two or whatever, the salesperson is prompted to offer up all four and they walk away knowing that you offer all four. So customer nurture. This is a very important part of the overall conversion process. And everybody needs to be on the same page, and so there does need to be a template so that you're always reinforcing not the features of VO, but why they must get VO from you. Really important. So this is a 30-day process, and it includes everything from they inquire online, they automatically get an email. What does it say? They call, and the salesperson then hangs up. What do they get? They call, and there's essentially they get a letter or a communication for set periods of time throughout a 25-day period. And then if they don't convert, they go into what I call a Raise the Dead program. And I have literally raised hundreds of thousands of dollars from prospects who were deemed dead but weren't in fact dead, just by sending monthly email communications. Client investment. Virtual office clients are growing up through the pipeline. I have literally seen my clients pay out more commissions to the channel partners, to web brokers, and generate more revenue than ever before by driving up the salesperson through the product line. And when I say that, from VO to meeting room and to office. We send out a client satisfaction questionnaire. And the client satisfaction questionnaire includes the questions like, what made you decide to choose a virtual office? Because we want to get into the person's brain and understand why they're choosing the virtual office in general. Then we ask questions like, what made you choose blah, blah company? Because we want to understand what those key points of differentiation were important to the prospect to convert and choose that your business center. Then we'll ask them questions with regards to their satisfaction. So many of my clients, their receptionist receives 100% client satisfaction rating. So wouldn't it be wonderful if you were touring and you said, I'd love to introduce you to Susie. Susie is in charge of providing you and your guests with the first best impression every single day, whether it's by phone or by in person. And in fact, Susie and her team have received 100% client satisfaction rating. And I know that she's going to strive every day to exceed your expectations. Isn't that better than I'd like to introduce you to Susie? She's going to answer your phones and handle all your administrative needs between the hours of 9 and 5. Okay. Then I ask questions about would they refer you to a friend? Great. Then that's information you can use on your marketing materials. And then I say, what would you say if you were to refer such and such company to a friend? And that is a perfect opportunity to get a testimonial. You haven't asked them for a testimonial, but there it is. And then I ask them for questions on market trends, because if your clients are have a positive outlook on the economy and the market, you can say that you are, people who have a positive outlook on the market have a VO with you. And then referrals. Remember this when you create your referral flyer. And we have a tool, a standard referral flyer tool through PMG Essentials. But remember this, people are not going to refer you because of the money or because of the gift. So any referral flyer that you create that features the gift will not work. Okay? What you need to do is you need to say something like, so many of you have referred us over the years. We want to let you know. We want to thank you so much for sharing us with your friends and colleagues. We want to let you know that we have a referral program in place to formally say thank you. Now, I always thank them and provide a little bit of a reward, a token of our appreciation for the referral, and then a large reward for the sale. But you got to reward them along the way. Okay? We have a standard template for this. It's really good. I do say so myself. And then the tracking report. You cannot run a business without the numbers. Okay? This is a tracking report that I use with all of my clients. And the tracking report essentially monitors key performance indicators where I know I can pull a lever. So things like number of leads, number of tours. Now, interesting, a lot of VOs don't tour, but noticed that if they toured, you had a higher conversion rate. Okay? What would you do with that information? Number of proposals, number of sales, and then we track against target. And then we always track the channel partners just by revenue because that is the metric. I put it in Excel, I extract it from whatever CRM that they have, I put it in Excel, and then I have a very wonderful snapshot on a week-to-week basis. You take one workbook and you have multiple worksheets within the workbook, and then I summarize it all up in a month. So you can look at weekly trends and monthly trends. It's a fantastic report. That's a part of the PMG toolkit as well. And the beautiful thing is that there is no question that if you do it right, you will reap the rewards. There is no question. This is a slide that Laurent was kind enough to give to me. He gave this presentation at the WANI annual meeting, which was fantastic in June. And the fact is that Pacific Business Centers has put a keen eye and significant emphasis on growing their virtual office business. And you can see the Pacific is in the red bars and the GWA average is in the orange bars. I have had clients who have said to me, Andrea, if it wasn't for my virtual office business, I'm not sure that we would have made it through this turbulent time. Please, 40% of the market is out there. They're ready to buy your product, whether it's a virtual office or an office or a meeting room. You must rethink your product line in order to make sure that you're seizing this opportunity. So please, be very aware of the trends. Understand how your client is using VO. Please consider repackaging your products. You will drive volume, and you will, if sold properly, preserve your average deal value. Layer in workspace bundles and membership. Very important. Price to seize up market share, and then make sure and conversion. Understand your utilization rates and use that when you're pricing your workspace packages. Very important. Do the basics. Don't go before you do the basics to generate leads. Make sure you work with your channel partners. You're going to blow the roof off your sales. I've had clients who have tripled their revenue by working with the channel partners. Make sure you reach out to One Systems. Check out their virtual to-go offering. You don't have to be a one client to use it. It's just an ingenious. It's just a genius e-commerce platform. And I'm a big proponent of screaming from the rooftops when I find best practice. Use proposals that truly express your value proposition. This is where you're asking them to part with cash. Make sure that you're layering in all the features, all the benefits, and then offsetting it with a fair price. Remember, the definition of value is value equals perceived benefits divided by the cost. So you have to make sure you load up your proposals, whether it's office or virtual office, with those benefits. Create your standard letters and make sure that you do nurture your customer. You paid a lot of money to get them to call in. They're calling in for a virtual office. It's not like they're inquiring about test driving a Ferrari. It's a virtual office. They had a need for that virtual office. Make sure that I have a philosophy, never let them go. You don't want to be obnoxious. You need to serve up timely and relevant information that enhances their performance, but you never let them go. Invest in your client satisfaction questionnaires. With regards to my office clients, my customers' office clients, 67% of them have a need for a product or service that was not identified by the center team. But that's not because the center team is bad. It's just because they're busy and they're running the day-to-day of the operations. So the client satisfaction questionnaire is a tremendous tool that should be used. Always track. You got to run this by the numbers. If you don't, you're literally throwing money out the window. And keep an eye on VO and get rewarded. This is a concerted effort. You got to keep an eye on VO. So I thank you for sharing your time with me today. I greatly appreciate it. I do want to say that we do have Pirrotti Marketing Group's Essentials Toolkit that gives you all these tools for $99 a month. We have a Virtual Office Essentials Toolkit and a PMG Essentials Toolkit. And coming soon is a new center opening Essentials Toolkit. Having opened up one location a week and being charged with filling and maintaining leads for 750 locations, I've just established some best practices that I would love to share. So thank you again. I am here should you have any questions or would like me to elaborate on any of the concepts. My phone number is 203-255-0850, and you can always contact me at Andrea@PirrottiMarketing.com. Thank you. Have a terrific day.